Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. I've received a donation asking about the objectivist idea of compassion, or compassion according to objectivists, and what is the proper role for compassion in life according to objectivism. And there's a quote from the Fountainhead, and neither I nor my roommate has a copy of the Fountainhead in this apartment, which is just disgusting. But that's where it is. But there is a quote where Dominique is at a dinner party, and someone says that they hate Howard Rourke because he's a man for which you can feel no compassion. And Dominique said, "Ah, yes, something like compassion is such a lovely feeling. It's like taking off your girdle and letting yourself just spread." She said, "Compassion is what you feel when you look down at a smashed caterpillar." And she said, "Yes, you're right. Mr. Rourke is a man for which you can feel no compassion." That's the role of compassion. That's the role of pity. In fact, there's a quote from Atlas Shrugged where Hank Rearden speaks of pity for the wet nurse. And he says he actually feels pity for the wet nurse. The wet nurse is an evil guy, but he's sort of like a young, brainwashed kid that never had a chance, never knew any better. His teachers and elders never gave him the chance to develop his mind. And Hank Rearden feels pity for the kid. And he thought, wow, this is a terrible feeling. I hate this feeling. Is this what they think of as a virtue when they say pity? Is this what they're thinking of? Because no human should ever have to feel this feeling for another human. So compassion's like looking at a smashed caterpillar, and pity is like looking at someone who's pathetically lost their way and never had a chance. These are not good feelings. They happen, but to call them a virtue is obscene. Now, I think that I think that everyone will have, most people watching will have some mix-up between compassion and the idea of charity or goodwill or something like that. So let's address that for a second. As Ayn Rand has said, it's not true you can never feel compassion for someone. But, on the other hand, it's certainly not a good feeling, and we should all wish that it weren't necessary. If you feel compassion for someone, then that means that that person is like a smashed caterpillar in some sense, being held down in some way or destroyed in some way that probably wasn't fair. That is an unfortunate feeling. It is not a virtue. The situations that lead to it are unfortunate, and we should not want those multiplied. If it were a virtue to feel compassion, then we should want many, many situations in society that we could feel compassion about. But we don't. We want to do away with situations where we have to feel compassion or pity. Now, this subject hits a little close to home for me because I think some of the donations I get are compassionate donations. They simply feel bad for me. They pity me. They feel sorry for me. And that's unfortunate. I would much rather receive donations and financial help from people who appreciate what I'm doing and appreciate the films, the videos that I make, and not people who think of me as, oh, that pathetic slouch, I feel so bad, I think I'll send him some money. I hope that I'm not just a pathetic slouch who's receiving charity. I hope that when people feel some sort of compassion for me, that they get slightly sick to their stomach and don't watch my videos anymore. I hope the ones that send money are the ones that admire my project and my wherewithal and my desire to see it through and my perseverance. So compassion is unfortunate. It's a sickly feeling. It comes from undesirable circumstances. It's not admirable, and it is certainly not a virtue. On the occasions when you have to feel compassion, or when you do feel compassion, it's unfortunate. And you are not a better person for feeling compassion. You're a better person for exercising virtues, not for recognizing some sadness in the universe. That's where compassion falls in objectivism, an unfortunate, sick feeling that we should all like to be able to do without.